dressed in camel's hair, rough and durable. Like his dress code, his diet was what the desert offered: wild honey and locusts. If he was in South Africa, it'd probably be mopani worms. This is the passage set for us for today's reading from the lectionary. It is fitting, for this is the second Sunday in Advent, as it concerns the ministry of John the Baptist, who was preparing people for the approaching ministry of Jesus, as we are at this time of Advent. There are quite a number of aspects that one could focus on in this passage, but today I just wish to focus on one aspect, which is of particular relevance for us as we face an ever-increasing pressure from advertisements and social pressure to buy and accumulate things that are presented to us as bringing us joy, happiness, and satisfaction, even if it means going into debt. As we look at the presentation of John the Baptist in this particular text, it does not take us long to realize that here is a person who has no pretenses about him, probably viewed as an odd person even in his day, possibly even a bit of a maverick, for his clothes and lifestyle were truly unorthodox. Dressed in camel's hair, rough and durable. Like his dress code, his diet was what the desert offered: wild honey and locusts. If he was in South Africa, it'd probably be mopani worms. And it was in the seclusion of the Judean desert that he chose to spend his time. Two words come to me that seem to encapsulate who he was: simplicity and authenticity. In this way, he is not dependent on anyone, nor does he owe anyone anything. The result is that he is free to be himself and able to speak to the truth to all and sundry without any fear from anyone. What is interesting is that it is to such a person that a lot of the citizens of Jerusalem and the surrounding areas took the time and trouble to go and seek him out. They had to leave the comfort of their homes, the security of the town or the city, and venture out along rocky roads, unfamiliar paths, and into the heat and the barrenness of the desert to go and find John. Why would they want to do that, we may well ask? The text tells us they came to confess their sins, to unburden themselves of the guilt that they were carrying. They are the people who had grown tired of keeping up the pretense. They wanted to be authentic people again, or possibly authentic people for the first time. As we look back and reflect on the important role of John the Baptist in preparing the way for the coming of Christ into the world, the text that we read this morning encourages us as we now approach the time when we remember and celebrate the coming of Christ into the world, to pause a while and reflect on the contrast between John's preparation for the coming of Christ and our own frenetic activities, adverts reminding us and encouraging us to spend, and how owning certain gadgets will bring us happiness and fulfillment that we have never known before. I don't believe that this text is telling us all now to renounce our responsibilities and to leave the communities and go off and live in seclusion. But it does act as a reminder that our deepest needs are found in simplicity, in times and moments that we set aside for solitude, to be authentic people and to reflect who we are really meant to be in this world. It is the same legacy that our patron, Saint Columba, has bequeathed to us. Spending time in silence and meditation is not something that we should view as having come to us from the East, but it is practices that are deeply rooted in the Christian faith. This is what we need in preparing ourselves to celebrate the coming of Christ into the world. Amen.